Hello and welcome to a yarn review video. My name is Karlie and today we are reviewing the organic merino family of yarn from Juniper Moon Farm. This yarn was sent over to me from Knitting Fever, and if you aren't familiar with Knitting Fever, they are a yarn distributor and most likely distribute yarn to your favorite local yarn store or favorite online store as well. Definitely go check out their website. They have great resources for different pattern inspiration, and you can also check out all of the yarns that they distribute and the beautiful colorways as well. So let's get started and review this organic merino from Juniper Moon Farm. So this organic merino comes in 3 different bases, and the first one we're going to talk about is the Patagonia base. So this is the Patagonia base. It is the organic merino that is humanely raised in Argentina. This is color 148. And this is 100% wool. It is 382 yards per 100 grams. So it is a lightweight yarn, and the suggested knitting gauge is 21 to 24 stitches over 4 inches of stockinette using US 5 to 7 or 3.75 to 4.5 millimeter needles. The suggested crochet gauge is 12 to 17 stitches over 4 inches of single crochet on US 7 to I/9 or 4.5 to 5.5 millimeter hooks. So this yarn is so versatile. I'm actually wearing a sweater out of this Patagonia yarn right now, and this is in the color Acorn. I knit this sweater about 1.5 years ago, and this is the Tulip Sweater by Melody Hoffman. I love to wear this sweater as a layering piece over top of dresses or with high-waisted skirts. It's also perfect for high-waisted pants. And why I love this sweater is that it's kind of a looser gauge, and it is so open and airy that I find it is perfect to wear throughout all 4 seasons. Now I'm coming to you from Canada, Calgary, Alberta, and it is quite cold here a lot of the time during winter. I find I can wear this with a nice shirt or a tank underneath and be toasty, and it is just fine. But I can also wear this in cooler summer days or warmer spring days, even some warmer fall days, and I can be super comfortable in pretty much all types of weather. So I love the versatility of this yarn, and it is a little bit more rustic, especially if you're used to a superwash merino. But I find that I'm quite sensitive to itchiness and different types of wool, and I can wear this next to skin just fine and not feel irritated. It's more that it feels just a bit more rustic when you're actually working with the yarn. But I do find that it softens up a little bit after blocking as well. So like I said, this is about 1.5 years old, and it has worn quite well. There is a little bit of pilling on the underarm area where there's high friction, but that's about it, and pilling is an easy fix. So I also knit up a sample just to try out a different project with this Patagonia yarn. I wanted to try something on a tighter gauge and something with color work, because I thought that the rustic qualities of this yarn would lend itself really well to a color work project. So this is what I decided to knit up. I'll put the pattern and designer up on the screen here, and I just thought that these turned out really well. It was such a pleasurable experience knitting with this as well. You can feel the rustic qualities of this yarn while knitting, but I think that it is such a great yarn to use for color work. This has been blocked, and I didn't do a gauge swatch before. I didn't use any color catchers, and as you can see, there's no color bleeding here, which was really nice after spending all this time on an intense color work mitten. And it created a nice dense fabric that I think will be perfect for the winter. And as you can see, the stitch definition is quite beautiful with this yarn, and I think it is a perfect yarn if you are a color work lover like I am. I definitely would love to do an all over color work sweater using this yarn, or maybe even a color work hat, but some color work mittens are definitely in my future using Patagonia. Patagonia also has hand painted colorways, so here is a really fun one if you like some higher contrast and bolder colors. This is color 1013. Again, it's the exact same as the solid colors I showed you, with just multicolored, beautifully hand painted. And here's another one if you kind of like more muted, less contrast, lower contrast. Here's a beautiful one as well, and this is color 1007. I would love to do some color work with this yarn, maybe pair it with a solid yarn. I think that combination would be really fun. The next base in this organic merino family of yarn is the Santa Cruz. So this is also humanely raised in Argentina, 100% organic merino. It is just a little bit more thick. So this is 191 yards per 100 grams, and this is a medium weight yarn. The suggested knitting gauge is 16 to 20 stitches over 4 inches of stockinette using US 7 to 9 or 4.5 to 5.5 millimeter needles, and the suggested crochet gauge is 11 to 14 stitches over 4 inches of single crochet using US I/9 to K 10.5 or 5.5 to 6.5 millimeter crochet hooks. So here is one color we have. It's a beautiful green, and then this other color as well. I haven't personally knit with this heavier weight yarn yet of the Santa Cruz, but I have looked at different projects online on Ravelry, and I saw that this yarn has beautiful stitch definition. So I would really love to knit with this yarn and do some cables, or maybe a beautiful textured cowl or a textured vest / slipover. I think this is just a perfect option for that. It's always really sad and disappointing when you do a cabled project or a textured project and you can't see the beautiful pattern, and this would not happen with this yarn. I think that this is a great option for any textured / cabled knitting, and that's what I plan to do with it. Again, it's a similar feel to the Patagonia. It's the same yarn, just a thicker weight, so this is something that I could tolerate next to skin, no problem. So I think that a chunky textured cowl would be a great option, but also a chunkier hat would be really cute as well. And yeah, something with ribbing to show off the stitch definition, or something with cables in a hat would just be so beautiful, I think. This is also great for an all-over colorwork sweater, I think. It would be super warm and cozy, and like I said, the colorwork turned out so well in these mittens that I think in a heavier weight yarn it would look beautiful as well, and it would go a lot quicker too, and it would also make a super cozy warm sweater. I think also just a plain stockinette sweater would be beautiful. It would go pretty quickly. And again, this is something I can tolerate next to skin, so I would love a whole sweater in this yarn too. But I think what I am going to do is possibly make a cowl with this, and I'd love to play around with some cables. The final base from the organic merino family of yarn is La Pampa, and again, this is also organic merino raised in Argentina. This one is a bulky weight yarn, so it's 131 yards per 100 grams. The suggested knitting gauge is 12 to 15 stitches, 4 inches of stockinette using US 9 to 11 or 5.5 to 8 millimeter needles. And then the crochet is 8 to 11 stitches per 4 inches on US K10.5 to M13 or 6.5 to 9 millimeter needles. This color here is Rosewater, and I also have another sample here of this beautiful color. And this darker burgundy is called DK Red. I actually really want to knit up some colorwork mittens, a chunkier version, similar to this, but in a bulky weight and a higher contrast. I think would be beautiful. Again, the color work just lends itself so well to this organic merino and this more rustic yarn. I also think that this is perfect for hats and cowls and a chunkier sweater as well. Again, it's just a really great versatile yarn. Because of the stitch definition, you can use it for the cables or texture, but it's perfect for just plain stockinette too. So I think I have some more colorwork mittens in my future using this yarn. So those are my thoughts and plans for the organic merino yarns from Juniper Moon Farm. But if you need some more inspiration, do go check out Knitting Fever's website and see what kind of patterns they have available for this yarn. I hope you enjoy this yarn as much as I do, and we will talk later. Bye!